What's your earliest childhood memory?
Um, I was 5 years old and my sister passing away. My dad and my mom used to argue and fight a lot regarding her passing away. He blamed my mother. My sister was diagnosed with cancer at 2 months old. And I remember my grandmother coming to spend time with us, and my parents were going through it, and then her passing away, and everything really falling apart.
All right. And how did you grow up? How many siblings did you have?
I had two younger sisters, and then my biological father and my mother.
All right. What makes you smile?
Um, just life today. All of the overcoming of everything I went through growing up. My children, my grandchildren, they make everything perfect today.
All right. And tell us your testimony.
Um, like I said, it started off as a little girl. Most kids are scared of the dark or loud noises. Me and my sister, being 4 or 5 years old, used to sit in a closet, dark, crying, holding each other because we could hear my father beating my mother, blaming her for my sister's illness, blaming her when she passed away, throwing bricks through the windows, calling with death threats. Um, Later in life, I went on into abusive relationships myself, drug addiction, and physical and mental, sexual, emotional abuse. Pretty much my whole entire life.
So you experienced a whole lot.
A whole lot.
What got you through?
God. Can't nobody do that for you but God. And no matter how much you grow up being in His house and having faith in Him, when you go through things in life, you tend to turn because you feel like God has turned His back on you.
Mm-hmm.
But then you realize that the only way that you've ever made it through any of this and came out on top is only by God's work.
When did you first believe in God?
I mean, I was raised in a church, but to know who God truly was, and how He worked, I knew as an adult, but it didn't really hit me, nor did I have the strong faith that I have now until after I came home from prison.
Mm-hmm.
Because making it through prison, can't nobody,
Mm-hmm.
can't nobody but God help you through that place, because it's horrible.
Mm-hmm.
And in order to continue to grow and to stay on top and to see how my children and my grandchildren are going, I know it's because of my faith. Because I could be 6 feet under right now if it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't for my faith and the strength of God helping me through.
Okay. And my next question would be, was there ever a time where you heard the voice of God or the Holy Spirit or whatever it is that you might want to call it, and He told you to either do something or to not do something? And what did you do?
The first time that God told me not to do something, I listened to Him.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's been times that, to me now, I know looking back that it was God telling me, no, you don't have to do this. You don't need to go there. But I would go anyway. But
Mm-hmm.
that was just stubborn, and that was being human and letting my human side let me go on, and my drug addiction side let me go on and do all of that kind of stuff. But now that I see things in a different light, there'll be some things that I want to get involved with. Shoot, sometimes I still struggle with, even after 20 years of sobriety, I want to go get high.
Mm-hmm.
God makes me go in there and get in that shower and sit there and cry. Call somebody. Any other time I would have done that. That's God telling me that that's what I need to do. And I'm finally listening.
Mm-hmm.
So I think things are getting better in that direction.
Okay. And my next question would be, what would be your advice to somebody that's going through some of the same similar situations that you've gone through?
Woo! One thing you can't do is to never give up. I struggle with bipolar manic depressive disorder. And so giving up always seems to be the easiest way out. And it's not. Your first thing is you gotta love and respect yourself. Love and respect God. Because the two of you can make it through anything. There's been many and many a times where I wanted to take my own life. I could have lost my life to somebody else. And I didn't. It's because everybody has a purpose. Everybody has a reason for living. You just have to believe that within yourself and find that within yourself so that you can spread it to any and everybody else. Change is doable. Living a happy and productive life is doable. But you gotta want it. You gotta have faith in someone bigger than yourself to help you do it.
Okay, and my last question would be, what do you want people to remember you by? What do you want your legacy to be now that you have grandchildren? When they think of grandma, what do you want them to think?
Just want them to know that, or to remember that I've always loved them. I was always there for them. Unfortunately, my children can't always say the same thing, but my grandkids can. And my children can say that mom was here when it was most important. And that's just really it. I just want everybody to know that came in touch with me that I am a survivor. I'm not a victim.
There you go.
I am a survivor. I am not a victim. And that regardless of what everyone else tried to take away from me, including myself, they were not successful. And I can still show compassion, and I can still show love, and I can still bring happiness to whomever I come in contact with.
Amen.
Life is about the choices you make.
Mm-hmm.
No matter where you come from and what you've been through, you can still always come out on top. That's just what I would just say. Just don't ever give up.